Quote, Chapter 3, Audiobook, 2016. Once one understands that I write songs that touch and bring together the events from my life, one may grasp some of what it took to put this one together. It sings very well. It's such a story song. An early song in my songwriting history, actually. Some of the verses I wrote very close to the actual events that inspired them in the first place. This is that song. When I was 16 years old, I went to buy some trees from a friend of mine. He said he didn't have any, but his older brother knew someone that did. So we jumped in the car and we drove real far. We went out to this little town called Kirkville. We went to this old barn and I met a guy named John Giroux. He had a racetrack set up. He was racing his electric cars. He had a big old bong sitting right next to his heart. He said, "Before I sell you anything, you must partake." Excuse me. "You must share what I'm doing and beat me in one of these races." So I picked a little VW Bug and I placed it on that track. I pretended to be the driver of that car. I went so fast. Mr. Giroux gave me an ounce that day. And it's when I look back on times like this, I just wish I could recall what it was inside of me that learned how to be free. I wish I could learn to be free once again. Once I missed the bus to a football game in high school. But the cheerleaders, they were leaving late, so I had to get a ride to the game with them. When I got to the locker room, everyone was gone. So I put on my uniform and I pretended nothing was wrong. Though as I jogged out onto the field, the referee told me that I was ineligible. He told me to go put my street clothes back on. He said that I could watch the game. Well, I was so mad that if I'd have had a shotgun, I would have took his head off. Hell, I might have shot the coach too. Though instead, I just wished I could recall what it was inside of me that learned how to be free. I wish I could learn how to be free once again, like I was when I was young. I never listened to anyone. When I was young, I was free. Yeah! Anyways, one of my favorite songs, no doubt. There is a town called Kirkville. The name's been changed to protect the guilty. Anyway. Excuse me. Dang it. Excuse my unprofessionalism, if you would. Moving forward. Let me be very clear about something. Life is a beautiful thing. I cherish every day, every night, and all that I experience. The good, the bad, the crazy, and especially the events that cause me to question everything. This being said, writing anything right now is not a very good idea. There's a high level of not good feeling inside of me. I am realizing clearly that the whole "I'll write about it and then I'll feel better" thing is wearing thin. Hell, has worn so thin that a strong breath could change the way I feel about many things. It's not easy believing in people and the things they say, only to find out consistently, constantly, day after day, over and over, state after state, city after city, job after job, madness. Understood, explained in black and white by the actions of the people I deal with on a daily basis. I don't deal with those types of people anymore. Short of becoming a monk or living in the woods off the land, I have no idea where a small amount of peace may be found. I have tried in ways I dare not write about. The shame is too great. I have let so many of them, of you, the people in my life, this life, crush the will to do good, to be good, crushed right out of me. Destroyed, over and over, any hope that this world of ours can be a better place. Shattering my soul, constantly, over and over, into shards of easily broken glass, then into grains of sand from which the glass was made in the first place. It is that completely I feel sometimes, just the loss of the goodness of people. Yeah, any of us can describe and talk about the bright, wonderful, glowing, uplifting future that can belong to all of us if we but change our ways. But I have to admit to myself, to anyone who might come across this and decide to read it or listen to it, there is always the balance. There is always the balance. The dark, evil, bleak, untruthful, hurting, painful, deceitful, intentionally misleading harshness is the other half of all that is and all that will ever be. God, Christ, all the saints, and every angel in heaven and here on earth, I beg you all, please let me see the goodness that I know is here. I am losing the ability to find it alone, by myself. I know that the lies I tell myself are not the way. I can no longer stand alone. The truth is, I can no longer stand the truth that is this world today. This I wrote around the phrase, 3 little words. I had been tinkering with that phrase for years, and finally inserted it into a love song poem that had been floating around in my head, like a leaf on a breeze after breeze, never finding the ground, caught on a branch, gently existing on a hanging basket on the front porch of a house. The basket's past its bloom, blending into everything around it, but remaining apart, its color fading, its self remaining. That 3 little words phrase just wouldn't go away. This is that song. The title of the song is Will You? How long has it been since you let someone hold your hand for more than a moment? How long has it been since you let someone really care, really share your life? All I'm trying to say to you are 3 little words. I know you know they're true. Though, will you? Will you follow your heart along with your mind? Go for what you know. I'm right here before your eyes. Don't just play the part. Don't just read the lines. Just be yourself, girl, and try not to lie. An autumn evening sunset, you and I alone by the sea. Woman, I need you to know you have nothing to prove to me. For the times that I hold you with nothing more to say, these are the times I will carry with me until my final day. All I'm trying to say to you are three little words that I know you know are true. But will you follow your heart along with your mind? Go for what you know. I'm right here before your eyes. Don't just play the part. I have heard all the lines. I just want to hold you. If I could just once again hold you tonight. This is just another lament of a past love. Another song. My attempt at a cowboy western song, actually. The plainer the verse, the harder it can be to find context for so clear an idea. Blending different clarities in an understandable order with music and a melody, seldom easy. The title of this song is Looking Back. I used to be a chicken wings and beer man. Now I'm a sushi and Chardonnay type of guy. I think of us, the life that we planned. Though it all fell apart, it still makes me wonder why. Why the good Lord placed you near me, only to let you get away. I'd give everything I have in this world to walk with you one more day. I can still hear the sound of your voice, the things you would say. The one thing that helps me carry on is the memory of your face. I used to be at the bar every night, watching a game, breaking up or getting into a fight. Now I'm at the coffee house, a good book in my hands. Yet when I think about the past, I still don't understand why the good Lord placed you near me, only to help you get away. I'd give everything I have in this world to walk with you one more day. I can still hear the sound of your voice, the things you would say. The one thing that helps me carry on is the memory of your face. I used to be a chicken wings and beer man. This next song is very dear to me. It was created on the spot, so to speak, one night while I and some very good friends at the time. I say this because the best of them have died and I have not seen nor heard anything about any of the others in many years. We were just sitting around jamming anything that came to mind. There was Mike Denver, who played a bunch of different instruments, and he was a musical instructor and an electrical engineer, including the piano. I had gotten into a huge fight with the girl I was living with at the time. I called the bros to see what they were doing. They happened to be together jamming, and I asked a good buddy, John Henry, to pick me up so I could join them. He stressed that it was nothing special, but I told him about the fight, and he got the idea. I needed to get out of the house. He came and got me, all the while playing down the music he and the others were doing. He knew I could sing though. He was all about me joining himself and the others. After arriving, we were still on our first beer when Mike Denver started to play this progression of chords on his electric piano. I swear things happened exactly the way I'm about to describe them. Though even now as I write this, knowing what I'm about to write, it still seems uncanny to say the least. As Denver is slowly playing the chords over and over, 1, 2, 3, 4 times, I sit the beer down, I walk over to him and place my hand on his arm and I say to him, "What's going on?" He looks up at me, and I say with conviction, that they used to tease me about later. Hey, I got a song for that. They used to bust my chops. I guess I had a weird look on my face when I told them I had a song for what he was playing. Anyways, he laughed and said it was nothing and that he was just fooling around. I kept at him until he relented. He got up, turned on the PA, gave me a long, hard look, sat back down and said, "All right, let's go." I kid you not, he played that progression through once, nodded at me as he started it a second time, and out of me came this song. I have to say that I have a hard time emotionally whenever I visit this song. I used to call it my Journey song because it sounds sort of like a song from the band Journey. There are also many personal reasons this one has a big grasp on me, but those are other tales. The other part of this one is the way John Henry, after this night, pressed me to get back into writing. I had all but given up on ever accomplishing anything with my own writing work and my singing. That said, he was the guy who became one of the very few people whom I can say was truly a friend, a true friend. He also is the one that passed away, far too young. I found him 5 days before Christmas in 1998, dead in his one-bedroom apartment. He had had a massive heart attack. We were supposed to work that day, that's why I was there. This song will be followed by a poem I wrote for John Henry. God bless you and thank you, John Henry. And this is that song. The title of this song is called The Shore. All our lives, we go on in search of something, wandering, climbing the hills of fate. We all need someone to come along beside us, to take our hands, to look us in the eyes, and to carry us away. Carry me away. Won't you carry me away. You found me, drifting upon the shore. I had given up in believing that I could ever be anything more than what I was. It wasn't much, but I was struggling on. I was still searching for that someone to come and take my hand, to take my hand, to carry me, carry me away. Won't you carry me away. I don't want to be an old man, wishing for things I've never done. I don't want to regret all the times I've run, all the things that I've kept hidden inside of me, the things that I just would have loved to let come out. I never really let it go. I never stood up and shouted at the top of my voice what I had on my mind at the time. I was just one of those who would stand there in line. Yet deep inside, I still wished for that someone to find me, to take my hand and carry me away. The poem is titled John Henry, 2010. To say when he died, a part of me died with him, it's not just an analogy or a metaphor. We had created a bunch of music. It was a big part of me. Still is, always will be. The music, original, ours, all of it. I wrote the words to all the songs. Yet when the harmonica player died, I walked away from it all. Yes, when he died, a part of me died with him. It was real. I will finish it though, John Henry. Even after all these years, this I know and this I vow. This song has a huge story behind it. I just don't have it in me to open up all of what is truly behind this. I will say that it is literally based on true factual events, line by line. The lines are describing things that happened to me, things that I felt, things that I still feel today, when I think of the time and this time in my life. This is that song. The title of this song is True Story. I met you 5 days after my 33rd birthday. To this day still I look back and wonder what it was about your face that struck me so suddenly. I was ordering pizza at the deli, when I first saw your face. A couple of days later I ran into you, or should I say you ran into me. You invited me out to hear an old blues band. I'm actually kind of shy. You are very, very attractive, and I really don't know why, but I just kept on walking that night. I didn't stop. I walked by. Have you ever looked back and wonder? I still look back and wonder why. Yes, I really want to thank you for the things that you taught me, though I was at best an unruly student. Many, many a time. But hey, I paid attention. Those memories so clear have frozen me, standing here, waiting for you to call me once again. Just call me dear. I loved the way you would call me dear. And if you called me, I'd come running, you know it, though it's sad sometimes to show it. But if you called me, I'd come running through the weeds and the water, running to you like a long-lost friend, if only to hear your voice once again. I met you 5 days after my 33rd birthday, and to this day still I look back in wonder. I met you 5 days after my 33rd birthday, and to this day still I look back and wonder. I look back in wonder. I met you 5 days after my 33rd birthday. That's the end of chapter 3. Stay tuned for chapter 4.